Hello and welcome to the 9th webinar in our 2017 SAP SuccessFactors HR Live Demo Series. Today's session is on succession and development. My name is Jessie Labenwolf and I'm going to cover some brief housekeeping. We'll be addressing your questions at the end of the demonstration, but you're encouraged to submit questions as you think of them using the Q&A panel on the left side of your console. If you experience any technical issues, please let me know via that same Q&A panel and I'll help you out shortly. Quick tip, hitting F5 to refresh your browser solves most issues, but don't hesitate to write in if you have any troubles. A note that today's session is being recorded and that we'll be sending out a link to the replay of this webinar in the next week or two. Keep an eye out for it in your email. Finally, I'd like to highlight the resource list, which is on the right side of your console. It has a few assets for you to download, as well as a link for you to register for the full webinar series, which we've been adding to. You can access this list by pressing on the green icon at the bottom of your console. And with that, we're ready to dive in. Today's webinar will be led by Laura Albert and Ty Nguyen. Laura is the Director of Solution Marketing, and Ty is a Senior Solutions Consultant here at SAP SuccessFactors. Laura, the floor is yours.
Thanks so much, Jessie. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's session. I'm super excited today to focus on the topic of succession and development. One, because arguably every organization, regardless of industry size or geography, is interested in identifying top talent and making sure that future leaders are in place. And two, because with SAP SuccessFactors Succession and Development, we have a solution that's really unique in the market. We are fortunate to be deemed a market leader in the space. And so today, what Ty and I want to do is really help you understand how and why we're unique by walking you through both an overview and a demonstration of the solution. There's plenty of research that shows that organizations are placing greater and greater emphasis on succession and development. And so the question really is, why is it such a top priority? Increasingly, there's a shortage of critical skills. I think we're all familiar with this sort of battle for talent. And at the same time, we know that employee engagement remains a big challenge at a lot of organizations. Companies know that to support aggressive growth plans, they have to have the right people in the right roles, both today, currently, as well as looking forward into the future, which means having a workforce that's highly engaged, as well as having a strong talent pipeline that's always in place. And so this is where succession management can really help. Companies that focus on succession management boost their organizational strength and really drive better business outcomes. They're twice as likely to have the right people in the right jobs. They achieve lower turnover. They have much better visibility into talent across their entire organizations, which means much greater mobility from an employee movement standpoint, higher and faster productivity, and lower employee acquisition costs because of internal hires. And there's really a strong proven link between how well companies do succession management and how well they perform from a business standpoint. Unfortunately, though, many companies still struggle with succession. This is just a reality. They struggle to identify and assess their current talent, and at the same time, a lot of times they struggle to develop promising talent for future roles within the company, which we know impacts the business. A lot of times we see sort of two primary scenarios. Either one, organizations don't have succession programs in place, or they do succession planning as sort of a standalone activity rather than having a program that's integrated with other talent management processes, whether it's performance reviews, whether it's compensation, learning, or recruiting. So for succession management programs that are in place, let's look at sort of the reasons why they're often ineffective. A big challenge is being able to create talent flow by retaining high potential employees, which means in order to retain them, you have to be able to identify them, right? Very often the processes and data available are not connected to other useful areas like learning, internal and external talent pools coming from recruiting or performance to support a really, more holistic approach. Without development plans in place and leaders that are ready and able to execute those plans, what ends up happening is that succession management process is only a short list of names. In many cases, succession processes are very narrowly defined. So we'll see succession that's focused on just the high-level executive replacements rather than critical positions at any level across an organization. We all know that sort of the growth plans of an organization depends on having that leadership pipeline that's broad and deep that reaches beyond the C-suite. And we also know that organizations have become flatter, which has really increased the need for leaders at all levels. A lot of times there's often not enough investment in employee development. So coaching and feedback may happen, but in a lot of cases it happens infrequently. And at the same time, employees in a lot of cases don't have mentors to really help advance their own development and growth and allow them to develop and advance within their current roles and moving into other roles. A lot of times we'll see approaches to succession planning are highly manual, and so what ends up happening is that the succession really isn't efficient, and it's incredibly difficult to scale, especially if you're talking about, a multinational or, fully global organization. And then lastly, there's often not enough transparency, especially when it comes to data analytics to improve existing processes. So questions like, how successful is my development of talents? How often do I replace positions with internal successors versus external candidates? What talent do I have in other divisions? A lot of times those kinds of questions can't be answered or they can't be answered easily. All of these challenges really drive the need for more strategic succession management that supports the growing need for more diversity in the workforce. So we all know the issue of gender and demographic retention and inequity in leadership roles is largely a function of how companies develop and, more importantly, how they select leaders. And the reality is that companies won't create more diverse leadership unless they change how they promote people. And this is an emerging, issue, I'd say, in the United States, particularly in terms of gender equity, but also in other parts of the world as well. Those challenges also create the need for succession management that really helps boost employee engagement. So well-designed career management solutions do a very good job of marrying self-assessment data with career path suggestions to really facilitate employee growth and mobility. And so demonstrating to employees that they actually have multiple career options and showing those employees what those various paths look like, so for example, what competencies or skills are required, empowers employees to really take control over their own development and advancement. And so this means going beyond identifying talent or nominating talent and encouraging employees to actually self-service, to really shop on their own. And it also means encouraging managers to invest in developing talent and really accelerating employee readiness and supporting the move of employees from one position to another, even without a promotion. The challenges I just referenced also drive the need for succession management that links talent management to the business strategy. So in many organizations, you'll see that, the talent strategy and business strategy are two different things. Organizations really have an opportunity to use succession as a strategic lever, which means integrating workforce planning with strategic business planning efforts and making sure that they're linked. So, for example, identifying critical jobs or roles in addition to the organization's executive leadership needs. And this ensures that an organization's talent pipeline is healthy both in the short and the long term. So what do we do at SAP SuccessFactors to enable strategic succession management in a unique way and really help organizations ensure leadership continuity, which is really what succession management is all about? Well, the answer is we do it with a succession and development solution that aligns with both the business needs of today, so ensuring that the right people are in the right roles, as well as aligning with the business needs of the future, so helping organizations have healthy pipelines of future leaders who are properly developed. And then third, with a solution that really engages all levels of the organization. So if you're an organization that struggles with a very manual, paper-based system, then SAP SuccessFactors is a modern, comprehensive solution that solves for a variety of different use cases, whether it's talent development, whether it's career planning, whether it's succession management. And there's really three unique aspects of our solution. One, notion that it's modern. right? So we make it super simple and easy for organizations to visualize their succession org charts and identify gaps, both current and in the future. We extend succession deep into the organization by helping companies to conduct comprehensive talent searches and create talent pools to build strong talent pipelines, really for all key positions in all areas. And we do it with a really sleek interface, drill-down functionality, very consumer-like application. Second is the solution's really engaging. So we take a thoughtful approach toward balancing the needs of the organization with the career interests and aspirations of employees. So we use things like the employee career worksheet to make intelligent recommendations on suggested roles. And we offer an innovative mentoring tool that automatically matches mentors and mentees to facilitate targeted development and growth. The solution really helps increase employee engagement by focusing on the aspect of developing employee potential. Third, the solution is dynamic. So we enhance talent visibility through workforce analytics that provides businesses the insights they need to plan for the future. So we have an innovative presentations feature, for example, that really enables more strategic talent conversations by making use of live information or talent data. We go beyond automating succession planning as a standalone process by combining it with career development and integrating it with our end-to-end HCM suite. So whether that's the learning module, recruiting, the performance review process, to help drive better business outcomes. And this is a real differentiator for us and one of the reasons the solution is considered market leading by so many of the analyst firms. So before I turn it over to Ty for a solution demo, I wanted to just highlight the core components of the succession and development solution by SAP SuccessFactors. First, we've got succession management. This is all about identifying critical roles and where there are gaps, identifying high potential employees, and then creating talent pools that really extend succession deep into the organization. We've got career and development planning, which is all about engaging employees through employee self-service, as I mentioned, intelligent career pathing and serving up suggested roles, being able to assess readiness, and then having the ability to create and launch mentoring programs that automatically match mentors with mentees. And then third, calibration, which is all about objectively identifying your future leaders and having a nice visual comparison of employees across different dimensions, so maybe performance versus potential, for example, for the purpose of objective assessment and objective succession planning decisions. These core components are all backed by robust reporting, analytics, and dashboard capabilities. So as a user, you have easy access to predefined reports and customizable dashboards to track that important succession data and make use of it to gather insights for better decisions. And then lastly, the SuccessFactors presentation, which is offered as part of the platform. And really no other vendor has anything like this. It's sort of an innovative feature that supports the dynamic nature of strategic talent conversations with live access to workforce data. So sort of gone are the days of having to have manual booklets or 3-ring binders, and really having a tool that allows for ready access to relevant, accurate talent information. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our demo master, Ty Nguyen, and have him walk you through the solution in its entirety. So Ty?
Great. Thank you so much, Laura. I'm just about to start my screen share now. Just bear with me, folks, for 1 second while that starts. And that was a fabulous introduction and overview of our succession development planning, Laura. So hopefully that sets the stage for our audience out there today. I'm going to spend about the next 20 minutes or so going through a solution overview, highlighting all the capabilities that Laura had mentioned, and putting it into context in terms of a day in the life. So what you should all see in front of you now is the SuccessFactors homepage. So welcome to the homepage. This is everyone's very own personal productivity dashboard. So you can think of the homepage as a personalized space that suits your own taste. So it provides concrete and actionable insights on the workforce, and it increases the effectiveness and the visibility of overall talent within your organization. So the welcome portal itself, this home screen can be configured with whatever you want. This is an area where HR can post communications, help guides, videos, etc. You can also leverage things like show me videos available where it makes sense to provide guidance to your employees and your end users. What I really love about this is that it's really flexible and it lets each of us select what's important to us on a regular basis, and really all in the name of productivity. Below, what you can see under the news headlines there, I've received a warning. In this case, the termination rate for high performers is too high. Now, the warning is red, meaning immediate attention is needed, as some internal benchmarks or thresholds have been crossed. And I can dive in and understand what, why, and how this is happening. So there's actually a few different headlines available for me right now. What I want to focus on is the potential successors rate, positions with ready candidates. I've looked at the areas of concern in terms of organizational risk. I want to identify what areas we need a little bit more improvement on, and areas that perhaps we're doing well, and maybe we can learn from the successes within that area. When I drill down, I'm presented with a list of segments. You'll notice here the areas of note. And as I zoom out, I can also see areas of interest below that. Think of this as areas that need improvement up top and areas that we're doing well and we can learn from down below. By being able to drill down and understanding the areas for concern and allowing me to investigate the issue further, it gets me to the root cause of the situation. And in determining that root cause, I can then work with my HR business partners to review other types of workforce information to see if any more strategic interventions are required. The details behind the headlines here visualize where the trouble spots are, and I can drill further if I want to into perhaps a location or a job function that's important to me. Why is this important? Well, first, I have a holistic view of the workforce and the trends and the details behind them, but it's automatically integrating data from a variety of sources and providing out-of-the-box content and insight on those data sources. Also, my executives and I can focus on analyzing the data and taking action. SuccessFactors delivers a comprehensive library of HR-specific metrics, talent flow models, and best practices that removes the complexity in assembling and communicating insight. Next, I want to review my talent presentation to determine the organization's open and business-critical positions, bench strength, and succession plan. I'm going to open up my leadership and development planning presentation. This presentation, as you'll see, is not only well formatted, but it's connected live to my talent data. I've added various pages here to highlight our team's plans for the year, and I didn't need to ask anybody else to do this. Presentations makes it very easy for me, a non-technical user, to quickly gather connected, formatted data into a beautiful slideshow. And it's showcasing our current leadership, our high potential readiness, even a 9-box summary of our team, all of which is interactive. My succession org chart that you see here highlights all the potential talent that may be ready to take on a more senior role. I notice that some of my key positions don't currently have successors nominated, so I can come in and do a search and review the successors before I nominate them. Now, this is important because it lets me quickly assemble talent review presentations by merging PowerPoint and dynamic SuccessFactors content together. It's interactive. It reflects real-time data from SuccessFactors and the entire talent suite. But it also eliminates that need for the screenshots and the talent cards that you would see in traditional static presentations. Something like this can be used for talent reviews to help identify, manage, and retain talent for future leaders. And of course, it's available on mobile devices as well. For the positions with successors already nominated, I can do a quick side-by-side comparison of all the current potential successors and their talent information. I know that there are key positions to be filled, and fortunately, I have direct visibility into my team, their performance, and overall talent information, and can confirm I have a succession candidate ready to move into this role. From these position tiles, I can immediately access a succession plan for Jeff, where I can quickly get a one-page view and refine or even edit my succession plan directly from this page. The position tiles also give me immediate access to real-time talent data, which supports decision-making within the succession process. So I can do things such as take action, start a readiness assessment, and even adding or editing successors to Jeff's role right now, on top of what we see here. As I continue to assess risk, whether it's the impact of loss or risk of loss, I need to know what impact is on the business continuity, especially as it pertains to some of these leadership roles. On the far right, you'll notice that Jeff has been identified as a future leader, and the impact of loss for Jeff is very high, and he is also at a high risk of leaving, which will impact our business continuity. These position tiles are valuable because they provide the visibility into realizing that continuity, but also letting me proactively identify my go-to employees and develop them for upcoming job transitions. Position tiles are easy to take action from and reflect real-time data. Now, I want to review Jeff's talent data to confirm he is ready for this role. I'll use my org chart here to get to that next level of information. Here, I can see my entire team, both direct reports, but possibly indirect reports, solid line or dotted line, and as far down as I need within my span of control. SuccessFactors integrates with many HRIS systems, and we'll work with you to build an employee import from your HRIS that includes basic demographics data like employee name, job title, org structure, even including the immediate manager. But to enhance this even further, SuccessFactors provides Employee Central, the next generation core HR system of record. Employee Central manages employee data, organizational data, and talent data all in one place, including employee and manager self-service capabilities like compensation adjustments, promotions, and even transfers. Employee Central is the best option when you want to consider talent-based information when making personnel changes. I want to determine if it's time to promote Jeff, and having visibility into talent-based information such as goals helps me determine when it's the right time for a promotion. Up in the top right, you'll notice that I'm able to take action on Jeff's behalf because I am his manager, but I can also jump to his objective plan, his performance review plan, even his career worksheet or development plan, which we'll get into shortly. This is available throughout the solution, so as a manager, you're always one click away from full talent insight on your team. The searchable profile allows you to see all talent-related data in one place and puts us one step closer to having a better understanding of what our talent looks like across the organization. Let's now use career development planning to build a solid path for Jeff to get to the next level in his career. Career development planning lets employees explore the roles they want to pursue and guides them in a manageable way for how to get there. Let's take a closer look at Jeff under my organization. And in looking at roles for Jeff within his career plan, we can see he's currently interested in an executive management position. But how does Jeff know if he's ready or not? Career development planning lets me view specific competencies required for the role and evaluates my role readiness for any future roles. Using visual cues from the thermometer that you see in the top left there, I can evaluate Jeff's role readiness. The color indicators, red if there's a gap exists or green if it's a good fit, determines if additional development activities are required to ensure readiness based on the expected role, competency, proficiency. I can now work with Jeff to potentially add additional developmental goals to his plan and identify any visible gaps, and hopefully fully prepare him for this exciting new role. Maybe in this case, I feel that Jeff could do a better job in preparing for global assignment. I can go into his development plan and perhaps assign him a new defined goal to focus on as part of this development. And again, getting him closer to that executive role. And this helps ensure a steady career progression where I can build development goals that will ready employees to move into their future roles. But what I love about this is that both employees and managers have one comprehensive view into their near and long-term development. And this helps foster collaboration and communication. After I've reviewed Jeff's development goals, I can also consider learning activities to achieve the goal. Here, I have options to find activities by browsing the learning catalog, all powered by SuccessFactors Learning. I can search by competency. I can create my own activity. I can even add a stretch assignment or something like read a reference book. This curriculum would then be part of Jeff's formal development plan, and I can view progress and assign other learning activities within our integrated learning platform. This is not only a great way for personal development, but also for departmental growth, as well as corporate training and compliance. Another exciting new way to develop top talent is through our mentoring. SAP SuccessFactors now supports mentoring as part of career development planning. And this helps simplify mentoring for HR by removing historically manual and labor-intensive processes that are with difficult program matching and a lot of administrative work. Instead, SuccessFactors combines an intelligent matching algorithm with effective program management capabilities. This increases engagement by using mentoring as a proven career development opportunity to increase skills and job satisfaction for both the mentors and the mentees. And unlike other standalone tools, SuccessFactors provides a seamless experience between mentoring and all the other talent management processes and capabilities. And this is something truly that only SAP SuccessFactors provides. Mentoring allows employees to reach out to one another on an ad hoc basis, but it also supports supervised mentoring, where administrators can determine mentors and mentee matches ahead of time. HR can be involved as much as they want to be, loosely managing mentoring programs after they're created, or actively engaged throughout the duration of the program. In this case, I've been invited to join this program as a mentor. It's a fantastic opportunity for me to be involved in developing our top talent and driving our company's success. Let's now close the loop and communicate succession decisions. I've been focusing on Jeff, but I want to review my entire team's performance and potential and where they stand with respect to each other. As a manager, I can proactively ensure leadership continuity by cultivating internal talent through planned development and feedback activities. To effectively manage talent continuity, I can review performance and potential by using our visual calibration tool, the Performance Potential Matrix Grid. I can pull performance, potential, and profile information all into a single 9-box report. Organizations can now determine talent, performance, and readiness for leadership roles by giving managers and executives a bird's-eye view of who is performing and who is not as well, and perhaps who is improving and needs a little bit more coaching. Performance and potential information, along with talent flags like risk of loss and retirement timeframes, helps you prioritize your succession planning discussions. Are critical positions your organizations backed up with successors in case of an exit? How are you keeping track of your succession plan and reviewing it? Two pillars that are important in succession are impact of loss and risk of loss, because these two factors have an impact on business continuity. Let's go back to the succession org chart. Within the talent flags for Jeff, I can see there is a high risk of loss because he is likely to be promoted. And from here, I can see a succession plan to ensure there's an adequate bench and talent pipeline ready when that promotion occurs. I also have other talent flags like risk of leaving, future leader, and impact of loss as well, all color-coded visually to denote readiness. And having completed Jeff's risk assessment, I can see that the probability now of him leaving is very high, which is concerning because he's a future leader and one of our top talent. Looking at the bench for the role, I can see 2 successors for Jeff already. However, they're at least 3 years out from being ready, and as such, we'll need to find somebody that can fill his role in the near, very short term. I'm going to conduct a more thorough talent search at this point and use additional criteria to truly find the best successors for Jeff. Using the advanced search capabilities, I can add a variety of parameters to find the perfect successor. I can also save these searches for later use, and this saves me precious time when assessing my talent needs. This search lets me use a variety of talent and employment criteria to base my search on, and this includes things like competencies, which will be critical for the new successor to exhibit to be successful in their new role. To ensure I'm selecting the right person, I can compare these employees on profile points such as competency ratings, previous performance, career goals, and many others. All this information helps me make a better decision to ensure I have the right person in the right role. Now, the solution also fully supports instant and/or approval-based nomination processes. So once I've nominated someone, if the decision requires approval, the approval group will receive a notification. Only one of them needs to approve the nomination. Until then, it will show up as pending until approved. If you require a sequential approval workflow, we can support that as well through a forms-based nomination process. You can set the system up to match your exact business processes. So what you've seen today is how SAP SuccessFactors is simplifying the work experience, which more so than ever is a critical element of business success. Whether it's improving visibility into organizational risk, building a strong bench with talent pipeline, SAP SuccessFactors ensures that you have the right talent in the right role at the right time, giving you the visibility up front, the ability to drill down further, and really fulfill that talent pipeline and ensure those successors are in place. Success is ensuring your talent is ready to move into those key roles as needed. The suite leverages collaboration across all processes, whether it's onboarding, learning, recruiting, succession, and career development planning, which leads to process efficiency and improved management. And it truly is a system of engagement where you can leverage a single source of talent data so you can effectively execute and deliver against business strategy. Thank you so much for your time today for the presentation. Jesse, back to you for Q&A.
Fantastic, Ty. All right. Well, let me kick out this poll to the audience here. I just want to give you an opportunity to schedule a one-on-one demo. If you'd like that, feel free to select the yes radio button. Otherwise, feel free to kick it to no. I'm going to leave this up for our first couple of questions, so you have a little time to answer this now. And there's another opportunity at the very end of the webinar. But let's jump into this Q&A. So, Ty, is Succession integrated with the other SuccessFactors talent modules?
Yes, absolutely. So it's part of the core talent platform, and so any information that is gleaned from our core HRIS or performance or goal management or any other modules are available inside Succession Development.
And what criteria can be used for a successor search?
Successor search is pretty advanced. A lot of people tend to gravitate towards competencies as the core requirement, but you can do a variety of searches based on demographic data, background data, educational data. Basically, any element of the employee's profile can be used.
And as a customer, how do I access mentoring and start creating programs?
Oh, great question. Mentoring is available to all career development planning customers. So it is part of that platform and capability, and effectively, once it's turned on, you can start using it. And of course, you have our technical support team to assist you in turning that function on if you're interested.
Does a client have to be the career worksheet module to link to a successor plan development?
So the career worksheet is part of development, while succession is part of the succession module. So they don't need the two to operate together, but they are often considered together because of the nature of the data and the analysis. They often coincide very well, but they are not prerequisites for each other.
Are the analytics included with the succession module? Do they have to be provisioned?
Analytics are provided with the succession module. The analytics that you see within that display current talent data that you have. The more talent data you have, the more modules that you're using, the more robust the information that you'll see inside succession. On top of that, our analytics platform that allows you to build custom reports and dashboards on top of succession data is available to all customers. So you can use that as a framework to design your own analytics if what you see provided through succession isn't quite fitting it. But standard things like our performance by potential 9-box, the how versus what 9-box as well, that's the standard capability.
Are the talent flags configurable based on business rules and policies?
The talent flags are configurable, so you can define the thresholds that you need to identify whether somebody is, for example, a future leader or not, identifying the risk of loss, impact of loss, etc. That would be configured inside the administration center.
Can the graphical performance potential 9-box be displayed in an employee's summary talent profile?
Yes. The very last screen I showed you had, think of it as a miniaturized version of somebody's 9-box. So when you are, for example, analyzing successors and want to nominate somebody, you'll have their competency and objective ratings, their performance by potential 9-boxes right within their talent profile, alongside the other flags as well, such as whether they're a future leader or reason for leaving. And the goal of that is to provide all that talent and performance information upfront, so that you can make the best nomination possible.
All right. Now, here's a long one. When you were reviewing the summary metrics for the geographies and business areas that had positive and negative recruiting pipelines, you mentioned that you could drill in further, for example, on China. What root cause information is available in the drill down?
The root cause information is derived from our prepackaged metrics within our analytics offering. So those metrics have a defined definition that can be customized to a certain extent, and then allows for the drill down into basically the details that make up those summary numbers. The business rules determine what areas get flagged based on the thresholds or benchmarks you selected, and then the metric or report itself is displaying the subject area, such as job location, geography, or job function.
All right, we've got one last question in the queue, so if you have any last questions for either of our speakers, feel free to toss those into the Q&A widget right now. So we have noticed that with nominations, a nominator can view all the other nominations and readiness indicators to that position. What's the best practice around nominations to retain security around this?
So in terms of visibility, I'm assuming that question is coming from. So you can set specific application rights to folks involved in the nomination process to restrict visibility or open up visibility. So if there is a select group of employees that perhaps you don't want to see that information or make available to them, you would likely need to configure that inside the role-based permissions just to make sure that those folks have the appropriate access rights.
Well, fantastic. That closes out the questions that we have in our queue. So I want to thank you all for joining us today. A big thanks to both of our speakers, Laura Albert and Tai Nguyen. And to you, our audience, we thank you for joining us and spending your time here and participating. Would you like to sign up for a one-on-one demo with SAP? In a few moments, a voluntary survey will pop up asking for your feedback on today's session and includes a way to schedule a one-on-one demo. It's a great way to reach out and ask for more personalized information, as well as to help us shape our future webinars. Just a reminder that today's webinar has been recorded, and we'll be sending out a link to the replay in the coming weeks. We hope that you'll join us for next week's demo, which will cover Workforce Performance Builder. There's a link to register for that demo along with the rest of the series located in the resource list. Again, thank you for joining in today's session. Have a great day.